Hello and welcome to training. Tonight's topic is Google+. My name is Rick Wilson. I'm the Director of Online Services here at USANA Health Sciences. My team is in charge of creating and managing all of the USANA hosted systems. This topic in particular is not a USANA system, but I'm going to show you how to use it. It's a great tool for prospecting and getting the word out about your USANA business. I will spend a little bit of time showing you how to connect it with some of our USANA tools. This is my email address at the bottom here. If you ever have any technical questions, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to try and help you out. If I don't know the answer, I typically know who does. I'll show this email address again at the end of the training, so don't fret if you miss it here. With Google+, like with any social media, you are in some ways a representative of USANA, so I was asked by our compliance team to just point out a few things. In Google+, you can put in your name, and it's free form. You can pretty much put anything you want. They ask that you never use the word USANA in your Google name. So don't say, USANA Bob or anything like that in your Google+ name. If you ever have questions about compliance, they are happy to help you answer those questions. Right here is the email address for compliance. It's compliance@usana.com. If you have just a general social media question about any social media tool, be it Facebook, Twitter, Google+, we do have a social media team here at USANA that manages our blogs and our Facebook page and stuff, and they would be more than happy to help answer those questions if you have them. For more information about social media, we do have a social media page on USANA Today. I'll show that to you now, just so you know where it's at. If you log in to USANA Today, right under Training, we have a link that says Social Networking. Click on that. Gives you, right here we have two professionally done videos, Social Media 101 and Social Media 201. We don't have anything on here about Google Plus other than our Google Plus site there, but other social media stuff is covered here. So as we go through the Google Plus tonight, Google Plus is kind of the new kid on the block when it comes to social media. It has a lot of cool new tech in it that a lot of your other social media does not, and I'll walk you through some of that. In my opinion, as a programmer at heart, I love Google+. However, the audience is a fraction of what Facebook has. The number of users on Facebook is massive. The number of users on Google+, not so much. And of those users on Google+, they're really not all that active either. It's more of a growing thing. But it's still good to have. There may be someone out there that you connect with that uses Google+, and this may be the way they prefer to connect with people, and so it's free. Really no reason not to have it, in my opinion. I'm glad you all showed up tonight to learn how to get it, set it up, and use it. And I'm going to walk you through first how to create an account. Only recently was Google Plus open to everyone. Before it was invitation only, so this is a great time to demo it. Talk about the profile settings. It's a little different than other social media systems. It has some very cool stuff that other social media systems don't have in the profile section. Validation of email address is something you do for pretty much every kind of Google product or any kind of social media product you sign up for. Then we're going to walk into the actual functionality of the system. So finding friends, what are circles, how do you add people to circles, how do you use circles to send messages out, sharing, posts, links, images, and again that ties back into circles. You can limit what you see. I put in big caps there, no custom URL. Unlike Facebook, you can't create a google.com/Rick Wilson. You are kind of stuck with what they give you, but I am going to show you a neat little trick you can do if you want a custom URL. And then finally, telling people about your Google+, basically how to tell people on email, tell people on your website, or any forum that you want, where to find you on Google+, how to link to it, and so forth. So let's jump right in. To get to the Google Plus platform, if you don't already have a Google account, you can go to plus.google.com. If you do have a Google account already, it's always on the brown bar here, the very first link, the plus U. If you have an account, it'll probably say plus your first name. So in my case, on my account, it says plus Rick. I'm going to pretend like I don't have a Google account already. I'm going to start creating a new one, and it's very easy to do. So I clicked on that link that said create new account. I'm going to put a name here, and under here I want to say Rick Wilson tests password. You can have a birth date, gender, mobile phone, other, email address. I'm going to put another email address in here. And location, I agree to terms. Alright, perfect. So I just created an account, and the next thing I want to do is create a profile. So I can add a photo if I want right here. I can do that later also. You can change your profile picture as many times as you want. Let's just say I have one here that I like. So we'll just pull this in. We'll say pictures. Pull in some weird picture. Drag that right onto the screen. It's uploading it. There's the picture. You can then crop it, do whatever you want with it. It's got a bunch of cool tools to do stuff with. Set profile picture. Hit next. Gives you just some information, tells you you can find all this stuff right here. Continue to Google Plus. Now this is going to start walking me through some of the Google Plus setup stuff. So I can do searches if I want here. For example, I could do USANA, and this is the official, this one right here is the official USANA Health Sciences. I can follow it as an acquaintance, or follow it, or make it one of my circles. I'll just say following. So I'm following that. Let's say I had some friends I knew. Let's see if I show up in here since I last updated. So I'm not showing up there. So there's one of my friends there. Add him as a friend. I could do the same. There's a lot of associates on here you probably want to connect with that are really good at this. One associate that is excellent at Google Plus, probably in my opinion, probably one of the most seasoned Google Plus experts, is Pete Zadanis. There's Pete right there, and you could go ahead and add him. I'm not going to add him because I don't want to bug him, but you can find anyone you want through there. Also, if you have Yahoo Mail or Hotmail, you can add friends in there. If you already have a Gmail account and you have addresses in your address book, it will automatically use those addresses to go and find other people on Google Plus for you. There's a continue button down here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead to the next step. Asks if I want to follow any interesting people or pages. I'm going to skip that for now. I don't have to update any of this, but I can. So I can say who's my employer. Utah. Hit finish. And I'm in. So I now have a Google Plus account all set up. The very first thing that shows up, I encourage you to use this. This is the new to Google tutorial, and if you click on this, this has probably one of the best, most unique ways of helping you do things. Just click on one of these 4 featured tours here. Click that, and it actually will take you back to your Google account and show you how to do certain things. So as I press Hangouts is a new thing where it allows you and up to 9 friends to video chat, but you can also do just regular instant chats. It basically makes a chat room, be it video or text. Hit next. It says to scroll down, join conversations. So just like on your Facebook, you can comment, you can like. They call it a +1 instead of a like. You can share it with other circles of yours. You can add your own video hangout attached to it, all that. Hit next. Customize your profile. That would be this right here, view your profile. When you view your profile, I'll take you there in just a minute. You have the option of editing it. Share your latest. This is where you upload your comments. So just like on Facebook where you can put your Facebook posts up, this is the same thing. You'll do it right here in this box. And then this is just going into more detail. When you do put in a post, these are the types of things you can do. And you can choose who goes to this, if you want the whole world to see it, or if you only want specific people. I'll go into more detail on that. That's related to circles, and I'll explain why circles are so important. Finally, click the share button, and it's live to the world. So I mentioned you can go further edit your profile. You can either click on your profile by going to your image here or going to your image here. Also, this arrow down here has view profile within it. View your profile. This is what your profile will look like. If you want to add stuff to it, just click edit, this big button right here. And it gives you a lot of different capabilities here. Let's just say I wanted to put some bragging rights. I have great hair. And one thing that's really important is this drop down at the bottom. I can send it to the whole world, which would be public. I can send it to just my circles. I can send it to my circles and all of their circles, or I can make it so only I can see it, or I can custom, which allows me to pick and choose who sees it without having to necessarily do all or nothing. So if I say public, which is a globe, it looks like a beach ball, but it's really a globe. That means when someone comes and sees my profile, they're going to see I have great hair. Just like on Facebook's timeline, you can also change your cover photo, which is this style here. If you wanted to, say, upload your own photo, again, I could just pull in one of my images. So I click that guy. This is actually a stream of photos I can put there. The next thing we wanted to talk about, let's validate email address. To do that, I just want to log into the email account that I had created. And right here just says, congratulations creating a brand new Gmail address. I don't have to validate it because they gave me a brand new one, rickwilsontest@gmail.com. Find friends. Again, I want to actually show you the best way to find friends. So right now, because I'm new, it has this find friends right here. But there are a couple ways to get to this. One, on the side here, you have all these options. You have the profile, explore, hangouts, photos, more. And under more, at least on mine, if you have more resolution, more of these will show up easier. But if I click on circles, these are all of my circles here. And this is the page where I will try to find people. And so I can just hit find people. There's me. So that's my real account there that I just found. And these are all the friends of that person I just found. So maybe I wanted to take Chris Wolfley and drag him down to my friends. And so I've just done that. So I'm adding these people as friends now. And what that means is when I go to my home, anything they post, I will see that. One thing I want to point out here is these things here you're seeing are not things that I want to see. These are what are called hot on Google. And if you click this little question mark here or hover over it, it tells you what it is. And if you click on this link that says what's hot, you can control how many of these you see. I like to turn it all the way off so that I don't get any of these. So then when I go back to my home, those are all gone. Now, because I'm following USANA, I'm seeing USANA's post. There's Dan Masuga. Jason Buchanan is a friend, asking a question and getting 20 answers there. More USANA stuff there. Lots of great stuff. Now, we've added some friends. The next thing to do is talk about circles. So this is where Google Plus really differentiates itself from Facebook and other social media type sites. If I go back to circles, these are the circles that are there by default. If I wanted to, say, create a new circle, if I were to grab Jason and put him into this box here, I can then create a circle with that. So the circle name, maybe I want this to be test. So that's the name of my circle. I hit create circle with one person. So now I have a circle called test. If I click on test, it will show me who's in that circle. And again, if I want to add people to those circles, I can go find them. I clicked on him so I can add him to one of my circles now, add him to test if I want. And again, there's create new circle. If I go back home, I can see he's now one of my friends, and any posts he may have done recently, which doesn't look like very many, would be in there. Going back to circles, if I click on that, you'll see that now Jason Buchanan and Rick Wilson are part of the test circle. So why is this important? Well, what the circles do is they allow you finite control over who sees what. And that's important because, say you're running a USANA business. There are certain things that you want to post out there that you want people that you're prospecting to see, but maybe you don't want your friends and family to see it because it would just be kind of spam to them. On the inverse, maybe you've got things to say that you think are very funny or are an inside joke or just really not suitable content for people who aren't your friends or aren't your family. Or maybe you have content you want to talk to with your friends and you don't want your mom knowing about it. She may not approve. Circles allow you that finite control. And let me show you that now. To add content, I can say, check out this USANA image. And then maybe I want to attach an image. Pictures. So I upload this image. This right here is where I can choose who gets to see that content. So I can say this is public. The entire world can see this content if they do a search. I can say I want all of my circles to see this. So everyone that is a friend with me and is in one of my circles can see this. Or I want every one of my circles plus everyone in their circles to see this. Or I can just say, okay, I only want to go to my test circle. And let's say my test circle was my USANA prospects. So I could just say only those people can see it. And I can choose more than one circle. So maybe I want prospects and friends and family, but not acquaintances and not following. So once I'm done choosing who I want that to go to, I go to share. It's now added. And all of these people here will see it on their Google+. They can then come in and they can like it just by hitting the 1+. They can share this post, say, check this out, and they can also choose, okay, I only want friends to see this. Hit share. If you have Hangout, you can actually record yourself with a comment related to that. This is on here twice because, as you remember, I shared it. It happened to be me that uploaded it, and then I shared it because I shared my own content. It's showing up twice. But you can see it has check this out on the second one. Like I said before, you could share links. Let's say I thought Dr. Oz was super cool. Go find the Dr. Oz show and say get his link. Go back to Google+, post another comment here. Say I only want to send that to test. It remembered that from last time. It's pulling up content from his website for me. I hit share, and there it is. I've shared that. Now why this is important is because you probably have a USANA distributor website. You'll want to share that. So right here, you can every once in a while just shoot out and then put the link to your website. .usana.com. I can send that to my test group again. I can send it to the whole world if I want and share that. So now there's a link right here, anyone who is friends with me, be it in any of my circles that I selected, they will see this, and this will link directly to my USANA website. So I've just driven traffic from Google Plus to my USANA website there. Now that being said, you can also go into your profile. So if we click on our image again, we can go there, we can go there, or we can click the down arrow and hit view profile. Any of those will take us back here. If we hit edit profile, I can then scroll down, and there's all these different parts to my profile. Down towards the bottom is a couple of things that you want to fill out, one of which is like recommended links. I can add a custom link. Here I can say, and then I can put the URL in here, and then I can choose who is allowed to see this in my profile. For something like that, I want the whole world to see it, so I'll do public. I'll hit save. So now I've got my USANA website as part of my profile. I hit done up here, and if I want to, I can see how the rest of the world sees my profile. So I can either see how a specific person sees it, or I can see how the whole world sees it. So now I'm viewing it as the public, and there's a link to my website right on my profile. Now why this is great? This is great for several reasons. First off, if anyone ever finds you on Google Plus and they look at your profile, there's a link to your website right there, and it's always there ready for them to click on. But also, Google is the world's biggest search engine. They have the largest share of all searches that people do. Well, your Google Plus account is part of the internet, and Google will index information, and so that gives Google a direct in to your website to help index it. So what you've created effectively is a very valuable, what we call backlink, to your USANA website. It actually gives your website even more credit than it already had. So very important thing to do. If for any reason you get a Google Plus account, if you need even the slightest reason, just to be able to set up a profile with a link to your website should be reason enough, because that will give your website just a little more credit in Google searches. Next, the bad news, custom URLs. And as you saw in the Facebook training, I was able to set up a real nice URL with my name and everything in it. Google Plus does not have that. Google Plus instead gives you this ID here. That is your Google Plus account right there in the URL. All you really get from them is, if you want, you can shrink this down to just be plus.google.com/your ID. So you can shrink it down to this, and you can copy this right here, and you can put this anywhere you want. If people click on that URL, it will take them to your profile on your website, or your posts actually. There is another solution, because that is not the prettiest URL, and no one's ever going to remember that. You're not going to remember it. That's a big long number. So there's actually a cool little service that someone created called G+2. The URL is right here, gplus.to. If I go to gplus.to, it takes me to this right here, and it's basically a short link server. If I take the name that I want, so say I want Rick Wilson Test as the nickname I want to use, and then I just put in that ID. So you remember I looked in the URL right here, and I had this big long ID. If you just copy that, so I do a Control-C and copy, or I could right-click and copy. Then I go back to Google Plus 2 and I paste that in there. If I click add, it just created a shorter URL for me called Google Plus 2/Rick Wilson Test. So now if I open up another browser and I drop this in, so there's my URL there, Google Plus 2 Rick Wilson Test. I can click on that and it takes me straight to my Google Plus account. Nice and easy. Now, what do you do with the URL? So I've got a URL now. What do I do with it? Well, you want to let people know about it, and there's a couple of ways to do that. You could send it in an email. So using your USANA tools, let's just log into USANA today, and under Income Maximizer I've got a few options here. I could send it in an e-card. Enrollment congratulations. Hey, you just enrolled, congratulations. Check out my Google+. So I can just put my URL in here, gplus.to/Rick Wilson test. We'll put a on there. Hit done. Just sent the link. Go ahead and send that. And then subject Google+. Hit send. I've just sent my Google+ link in an email, or in this case an e-card. Easy. Now say I wanted to add this to my website. So I've selected my website. I'm going to go into the website wizard. I'm going to go to manage content. And then in this page you can see I already have content for my Twitter, for my Facebook, and now I want to add my Google+. So in here I just say find me on Google+, and then I want to change that to a link. I do that by clicking the little globe with the chain under it. Click on that, paste that in, make the target an external, so a new window. Hit save, and here is my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Google+ links. I'm going to now publish my website. Click up here to preview, and this is what the world sees, and there is my Google+. So I've got my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Google+. If someone comes to my website, they can click there and it goes to my Google+ webpage. That is it for Google+. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. If you have additional questions, feel free to contact me at my email address, rick.wilson@us.usana.com. I hope you all go in and create one of these soon. It's a great system and it's definitely growing in usage.